There's a two-letter word that can impact you in ways that you never imagined. The word is Hey now, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Red Alert Diaries with Tanya E. Today, I want to share with y'all something that changed my life. Two little words that impacted me. I couldn't even imagine what I was going to do, how I was going to function, but just this one word with two letters gave me a whole different perspective. You want to know what it is? The word is if. If has a magical moment to it. Using that word in certain situations can give you an empowering statement to be able to dream beyond what you imagine. But it also has a negative effect to it. If you don't pay enough attention to what's going on in your world and you use if in a negative manner, oh, that will do something to you. So today, I want to walk through imagining things just a little bit different, living your life in such a way that you can maximize the use of these two letters to get what you desire on the other side of the situations you may find yourself in. So if you're in a relationship and you need to sustain what you're walking through so that you can be consistent in how you're showing up and how you want to be seen as well, use the word if. If gives you an opportunity to extend some grace. We're in an environment now that does not have enough grace for relationships, grace for much of anything. So let's talk about grace for a minute because some people may not really be clear about the definition. Because if you ever look it up, it gives you a couple different perspectives. But the way that I learned it, that still supports me to this day, is that grace is that thing that you do not deserve. I've often heard it in the context of, do you want somebody to give you mercy or give you grace? For some individuals, the thought is, give me mercy. What you really want is grace. So let's walk through a conversation about the word grace, because in this day and age, we have too many people that are going off on each other, just random thoughts of chaos, I feel, that are ravaging each other's souls. When you find yourself in that position, you're not extending the kindness or care that you really want extended. Now, I know a lot of you may have heard of the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But then we decided we were going to elevate that and call it the platinum rule. Treat others the way that they want to be treated. But here's the thing. We don't have to go about trying to remember all of that. If you just show kindness, just show consideration. If we just take a moment to decide that today, whether you deserve it or not, I'll be kind to you. I will care for you. I will support you. And the way that we're able to help them get to that path is using that magical two-letter word, if. I don't know exactly what happened to them, but if I was in this situation, I would want somebody to do X, Y, and Z. You fill in the blanks for whatever that situation is for you. Because for too many of us, we don't often have the kindness we would like extended to us. We don't have people often get enough understanding in one environment. We see certain things where it's like, oh, but that happened to this person last week and you didn't extend that. But if they had, you would have felt different. Situation might have turned out different. But we can extend those moments of grace because that two-letter word gives you the chance to use that in a positive light. And it is there that you'll be able to also find your tribe, people that will resonate with you, extending grace, feeling a little bit more because they will recognize after a while, and this may take some time, because granted, changing behaviors is not an easy thing. It's not an overnight process, but it's doable. And if we ever take a moment to decide that who a person is in this moment, just maybe extending them a little bit of grace, saying if, the two-letter magic word that can give them an opportunity to be integrated back into the fold. Some people are often the way they are because they feel isolated, because what they walk through, they don't think anybody else understands. And if we constantly walk inside of a world where people believe that they're the only ones living in these personal silos, we will never get the chance to truly be who we're called to be. Because what makes you best, what supports you the most, is giving, helping, and supporting others. We don't often think about that. If you just take a moment to see somebody else extending kindness or graciousness to another individual, it does something to you too. And it will encourage you to decide to show kindness and care to someone else. There's got a lot of those social experiments where they have a person give someone a flower or hand somebody a book. That one moment of extending care and consideration, you want to share it with others as well. This reminds me of a story of this construction worker. He was standing outside directing traffic away around the construction, and people were angry, honking their horn at him, mad at him, like he's the one that caused the thing that needed to be reconstructed to begin with. But one person walked past while they saw people yelling out their windows, screaming at the construction worker, trying to help people get around the construction and redirect them to the best of his ability. They went inside of a coffee shop that was nearby, got him a cup of coffee, and handed it to him and went on away. Well, there was somebody that had a booth that was on the side of the road where they were doing some sort of food vending thing. I can't remember what it is. Let's say hot dogs, pick something. That person saw the individual go inside the coffee shop, buy coffee, hand it to the construction worker. It did something to them. And they thought that if that person could do this, then let me extend a moment of graciousness as well. So there was a person that he saw, a homeless man sitting a little further down from his cart that he was selling his stuff on. And he fixed a hot dog, took it down to the man that was sitting a little further down, and extended him grace by giving him a hot dog. He said, there's not a whole lot I can give, but if this is a support for that person, then let me do that. And then the homeless person, while he was eating his hot dog, there was a lady that was walking down. And while she was walking, talking on her phone, doing her thing, she dropped her wallet. Well, the homeless man got up, got her wallet, and was running to try to get her wallet. And when he approached her, she was a little startled and she wasn't sure. But when she recognized that he was extending his hand, that he was giving her back her wallet, she didn't even know she dropped. She had no idea that that's what was happening. It did something to her and thought, like, if he was willing to do this for me, then what can I do for another? You see, those two letters, that word is impactful. That word can extend grace. That word can resonate within your being. And in those moments when you may have a difficult time that you are walking out, using that magical two-letter word can change your perspective and give you an opportunity to be a support system for yourself and those around you. Because in your relationships, if you just extend a little bit of grace and say, if, you can change the trajectory of that relationship sometimes. If you use that two-letter word, if, on that job that you're having with those coworkers in this day and age, especially if you are in America where things are a little bit harder, things are not going as well as you like, stress is a little on a level that none of you ever imagined and none of you want to keep receiving. But if you say if gives you a change in perspective. If I get through this moment, the next one will be better. And you may have to take a moment where you say, if I get to the end of this day, when I get home, I can let things be better so that your personal world can counterbalance the craziness that's happening in your professional world. And you may need to do that vice versa. Because in the aftermath of the chaos of my divorce, my job was my safe haven. Because home wasn't as healthy for me at that moment in my existence. And now I see it having a flip because there's some moments on my full time where it's a little bit of chaos. But if I get through this day and I get home, home is now a place of shelter for me. So when you are having some elements in your personal or professional environment, you may need to use these two letters, if, to change how you function, to change how you show up, to change how you will allow yourself to resonate what's going on in your world so that your dreams, goals, and aspirations can be met. Sitting on the edge of my bed trying to figure out how did I get here, but I knew there was a way of getting through this. So I decided to do an autopsy on my marriage. Red alert. Is he the one? The pocket guide to finding a love of your life. The free chapter is available for you in the link below. And here's something else I want to share with you. Who you are, what you do, and how you show up in the world, it can be difficult to do what you would like consistently, to be seen in the light that you desire. But I want you to know that every challenge that you have gives you a moment to grow, and every growth moment that you experience, you are already showing somebody else how to walk through that experience. Like the construction worker just doing their job, and the person that went to got him coffee having a third party that they didn't even know was watching them. Somebody's watching you, watching how you walk through that difficult moment, watching you how you expand your growth process, be it you pulling in something personal inside of your professional environment or taking a skill set that you've learned professionally and maximizing the use of it personally. You are resetting. And in your reset moment, you are teaching somebody else. Because for some of us, especially those that are content creators and course creators, when you are walking through this element where you are trying to put these things in place, I want you to know that every day that you are walking, the thing that you are doing, lots of times your course that you are teaching is your life on display, how you are showing up, what you are doing, and how people will receive you. You're already watching on a day-to-day basis. And as we walk into a new space, this wasn't part of what I was thinking of sharing today, but I think it needs to be said. In a new space where we have artificial intelligence giving some individuals a thought process that now that I have this, let me pump the brakes. But I want you to consider if what you are teaching, if what you are sharing does not have you present in it anymore, while artificial intelligence does it. And I appreciate some of the tools and flexibilities myself, but I show up, flaws and all, retakes, different adjustments, editing quirks. I show up because I recognize that what I teach, share, and show are elements of my life. What I teach, share, and show is what I lived and walked through. What I teach, share, and show, I can only give when I am fully present because I never have a clear idea about how what I want to convey to you is truly going to come across. And I also know that while I'm doing the download of this insight to transfer, some part of me remembers what I was truly walking through. And that part can't be scripted. That part can't be lived out in AI. I have to walk it individually. Moments of pause, reset, try to remember what I was thinking. But I always remember what I felt like. I always remember what I felt like I was walking through. And I want you to know that when you're intentional with what you want shared into the world, doesn't have to have all of the things, although I love to have the things, but sometimes I just need to make sure that you get the message. That what you need to do is extend yourself some grace, expand the positive elements of the word if, and just do the thing that you're doing. And so for today, if anything that I've said resonates with you, then it's time to reset. So like, comment, and share this information with others. Before I leave, I want to leave you with a next level note. You see, here's the thing about extending the thought process with the word if. If gives you a visionary element of other possibilities. And in one of my favorite stories, I remember this story about this man that said, if I could do one something while I'm still afraid, one something that I've never even done, one something, think I'll have the courage and the tenacity to move through some other things in my world. So this man made a decision when he was going through on his merry way to get what he needed to get done. He was headed down a path that he had already decided. He was moving towards a goal that he knew he would reach. But along the way, things got a little rocky. The waters got a little cloudy. Things got a little shaken up. And in the midst of him being shaken up, fear crept in. Anxiety started to rise. And he started to doubt if he could truly get where he was going. Well, on his way of getting there, the person that had already been encouraging him, mentoring him, showing him the possibilities of the word if you are willing, let's walk this together. If you are willing to step out on what's trying to cause you anxiousness, you can do things that you've never imagined. And so while he was in the middle of the shaking, and he saw the person that gave him encouragement walking towards him, that person was walking as if none of the chaos was happening around both of them, because it was. But that person stepped out on a faith pattern that if I keep doing this thing that I know works well, everything else will be well. And so he said, if it's really you, if it is really you, have me come to you so that I can walk on what's causing me anxiousness as well. And he said, come on. That one little term, if gave him the courage to stand where chaos was trying to take him out. If gave him the authority to move when faith was a little bit of things that he needed to press through. If you can get through this moment in your world that's giving you some anxiousness, you too will be able to walk on top of what's causing you some anxious moments and chaotic situations. If, two little letters, powerful word of resilience that will give you increased peace, joy, and ability to be on the right side of the life course that you desire. Because for a lot of us walking through this journey, that small voice in the back of my mind, that small little moment where I hear if, is when I recognize that Peter was asking God, if it is you. Moments of faith. He did something no one else did. Walk on water. So as you're walking through the situations that are giving you some anxiousness, take a few moments and use if as your stepping stone to walk on the things that's causing you chaos, to walk down the paths where you need faith, to walk where you haven't been before, and realize that if can help you get the courage and the confidence to keep pressing through. And if you want someone to join you on the journey, feel free to go to my website, tanyaehood.com. There you can click on the Work With Me tab and see the various ways that we can work with one another. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and want you to do the same.